The Dirty Dozen is made up of 12 of the big corporations, fossil fuel corporations in the world, who we find have been influencing climate negotiations and national climate policies as well. So and they range from Shell, ArcelorMittal, BHP Billiton, as well as for South Africa, in Africa's concern is Eskom. If we look at the various activities in different parts of the world, so in the United States, they've been lobbying Parliament. So they've been lobbying government to reduce and not to go into having a proper climate change policy in the country. So there's lobbying. There's also in terms of influencing national policy. So we've got Eskom in South Africa, who would work, and every time we need to work on national policy in terms of an integrated resource plan, climate change white paper, they've been an integral part of trying to influence what comes out. So our reductions will be less. There's an influence of CCS, which is carbon capture and storage, and there's a big push for that. So and also in terms of, say for example, the carbon tax in South Africa, where government is saying, okay, big polluters need to pay, there's a push from Eskom and some of its companies that it works with to block that carbon tax bill. In terms of Eskom, what we've done quite a bit of research as Greenpeace Africa, and the one is the true cost of coal, where we always go and give them our documentation to say, look, this is what we've researched. We think that Kusile is a bad idea. It's going to cost the country 60 billion rands a year in hidden costs. We have done research on renewable energy, where we've shown that an advanced energy revolution, if we follow and if we commit to renewable energy now, we can get to 50% of renewable energy by 2030, and we show them how it can be done. So we try to present these reports to them, we try to talk to them and have technical engagements on the one hand. But when we feel we're not listened, then we have to make our voices a bit louder, and this is what we're doing today.
If there was one big lie about Eskom and its work in South Africa and Southern Africa, what would it be?
It's the lie that Medupi and Kusile is going to be 0% emissions. It's the lie that Eskom's been saying that over and over again, that Medupi and Kusile will be carbon capture, Kusile will be carbon capture and storage ready. Now this is a technology that has not been proven. Now how do you get your power station to be ready when that technology is not proven? So you don't know what needs to be available for it to be ready. So that's the lie that they keep telling people, that Kusile is going to emit less emissions. They also talk about the fact that it's a dry-cooled power station, so they won't use that much water, which is not true. We've shown in our report that they will use a lot of water, and one of the biggest hidden costs is in water. They also talk about, as South Africa, we have to have coal because we need base load. But that's an old way of actually working in terms of electricity supply. So we're saying we need to move away from this old style of providing electricity and have decentralized grids that can actually work on renewable energy quite easily. And those are the lies that we have to repeat all the time. The worst one ever is when they say that you get clean coal and that coal is cheap. That is an absolute lie. There is no clean coal. There can never be a clean coal. We know that. And it is not cheap. 60 billion rand a year for taxpayers is a lot of money. I think that all the increase, that we're increasing the tariff because we need to keep the lights on for people and that we have to avoid load shedding. If we look at the fact that 45% of our electricity is used by 36 companies, we have to question, who are they keeping the lights on for? And how much of that should we as consumers be responsible for?